What's up, guys? So we're here at PVC Garage, and today we're going to be pulling out the rear subframe on this car over here. This specific car is an 06. It was a parts car, so as you can tell with the mess over here, I don't know if you can see it or not, with the mess over here, we've got the subframe pulled, the engine and trans is pulled. So the front suspension, brakes, axles, everything, all that pretty much drops with the front subframe. So today we're going to drop the rear subframe with the rear differential. We're going to pull the drive shaft out. And at that point, the only thing we need to do on the lift yet is pull the side skirts and stuff like that off, because I'll be using them on this car over here. So yeah, today we're going to try to get most of this stuff done and hopefully be able to get it completely stripped out so we can get it out of here and get the next project, which is this white car over here. Hopefully we can get that up on the lift so we can get that ready to rock and roll. We got to do engine mounts on it. We're going to do, we're probably going to put all new bell housing bolts in it. The guy he had do it did not make sure everything was bolted up tight, lost the bolts for the engine mount, so it's kind of loose and whatever. We haven't had the chance to get to it, so now we're going to put it on the lift and get that taken care of so that way we have no more issues. And then we got to chase down what I believe is a vacuum leak. So anywho, I'm gonna get to going on this, and I'm gonna do I'm gonna try something different, and so that way you guys can kind of see what's going on. So as I'm pulling out bolts and stuff like that, I'll try to bring that more to you instead of me just talking and showing you, you know, what's already done. So I'm going to try to be able to show you guys a little more of what's actually going on and what it takes to get this out of the car, because it's not always lickety split and easy. So anywho, stay tuned, and I'm gonna be back with more throughout this video here, so you guys will have a whole bunch more content later. All right, so I'm gonna start by pulling the side skirts off because I got to move the lift here. So where I have this here is it sits right on the rear where the rear subframe mounts. So I'm going to start by removing these side skirts because I want all these for my Volvo. So I'm going to pull all those off first. And so right in here, there's two rivets that hold this in here. You got to drill those out. You got to drill these out, and then there's a bunch of pop clips on the back here, which I'll try to get the best I can, but they all are pop clipped in, and I'm going to try to get all those out so I can pop that side skirt off so I can get that on mine. And then I got to figure out how all this door trim comes off. So all this door trim here, I'm not entirely sure how it comes off, and I don't want to break it, so I got to be careful to figure that out. So yeah, I'm gonna start by doing this stuff, that way I can reposition it, and when I reposition it, I don't care if the car sits on it, I just don't want to damage these. So being a junk car, it isn't gonna really matter where my lift placement is as long as it's sturdy. You know, I'm not worried about damaging the chassis itself, I'm not worried about anything else aside from these side skirts. So I don't recommend doing that. However, I don't have much of a choice. I can put this lift out here on the edge. You know, that would be the best bet, but that's if I can get the lift far enough out. As you can tell, I don't have tires on this car to be able to move it where I want it. All I gotta say is do not do this at home. If you are not skilled enough to understand the weight distribution, don't do it. It's not safe. However, I have done this many times. I have stripped a lot of cars out. I have picked a lot of cars up off the chassis. So I am pretty confident in how I have to do it. Again, not something that anybody should do, but I know how my lift works. I know how to lift a car when the weight's not right. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, I figured I'd show you here, and you know, I got to get this stuff off, and then once we get these side skirts off, we will set it down on some blocks and we'll set this thing down on some blocks and get it to where we can reposition what we need to reposition. So anywho, I will continue to keep coming back around. So yeah, I'm gonna get going and get these clips out. I'll show you along the way. All right, what's up, guys? So I had to take the side skirts off here in order to reposition this lift, so that way I didn't damage the side skirts that I want to keep. So if you're not experienced with a lift, I'm not too concerned of swinging the arm anywhere underneath the car and lifting the car no matter what. However, this is a junk car. On a nice car, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure to always lift at the proper lift points. If you're not experienced with it, don't do it. Do not take the chance of having a car fall on you. I know the distribution, the weight distribution of these lifts and how it works. I have lifted lots of bodies off of chassis, so on and so forth. So I understand how these lifts work and how to lift something without having it in the proper lift points. That is not something you want to do unless you are very experienced and you understand your lift. Anywho, so always make sure to lift at the proper lift points. Your safety is by far number one. So anyways, we're gonna be pulling this rear subframe here. And we got bolts up here that I gotta take out. Same as long as the other side over here. And we got a few bolts over here. And as well over here. There might be a few others throughout there that I have to pull. So we will find out and see exactly where we're at. We got not most, I shouldn't say that. I've got part of the trim work off, which is sitting over here on the workbench. Still a lot more trim to pull off of this car. I gotta pull the trunk lid, get that on over here. So yeah, we're gonna get to it and get this rear subframe out of this car. So I'm gonna go grab the tranny jack and use it to support this thing, because otherwise I have no way to safely bring that down out of the car. After that, this car should, besides, I got to pull it off of my lift here with my rollback. After that, it will be, the lift will be open for our next project, which is my buddy's 626 over there. So keep rolling with me here and you can watch as I go. All right, we're gonna try to lower this down a little bit and see what happens here. Oh, we gotta get that side out there. Let's see if I can push this up just a little bit more. See if I can reposition that arm just a smidge. I don't need to go much. I need to move it about an inch. So it looks like we're going to have to bring this down, readjust a little bit. I got to get that plate out of there. And currently the foot of the lift is right in the way. So we're going to reposition this real fast and we'll be right back. All right, we got that readjusted so we can get these 2 bolts down here. 3 bolts, I'm sorry. Get these out and we should be rocking and rolling. Looks loose here, so we'll find out if we can drop it down. Got some give out of it, but we're still attached somewhere. We're catching them. Truthful, I think it might be catching on this plate here for the strut, the rear struts. That is what it looks like we are catching on. Grab a pry bar and let's see if we can get it loose. All right, so we're fighting this a little bit, and I took these bolts out for the struts up here, but there must be something up above yet that's holding that whole strut tower in. So I should be able to lower this now, and it should come on down. So we're gonna try it and see what happens. So these emergency brake cables are holding us up here, and we don't need the emergency brake cables, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these because they run right through. So they're going to hold us up. I'm just going to grab the die grinder and cut them off, and this thing should come on down. I'll cut the brake lines, and yeah, it should come on down. So there's a few things few sensors and stuff that I'm not too worried about on the back end here. You know, they're up underneath everything, and I'm not gonna try to get them out of there. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing dropped, and I will continue to record. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these, and yeah, so just hang tight. All right, so we got this rear subframe out, and we tried to pull these struts out as well, but they must be bolted up top. I haven't pulled one of these yet, so I don't know. But I'm guessing they're bolted on top because I couldn't get it to come anymore. So I have bolted down here, and was able to get it off there. So one thing I don't want to cut. Anywho, so I was able to get that down out of there as soon as I was able to get this strut off of this rear subframe. So there's roughly 6 bolts plus the drive shaft. You pull that stuff all apart and it'll slide right down. You know, you gotta pop these off, and when they're corroded and rusted on, they're a little bit hard to pull off there, but it's down. So now we're gonna get it. I gotta get the engine stand over here and pick it off of here and set it on the ground. So we will go from there, and yeah, get these rear struts out. We'll bring it down, get the rear struts out, and then I'll probably go get the rollback so we can get this thing out of here.